Well, I think the first thing to say is that the issue isn't that the money isn't there. The money is very much there, and it's there in spadefuls. I mean, we can talk about the $40 trillion of assets under management that is ESG screened now, or we can use even bigger numbers. The money which is signed up to GFANZ at Glasgow last year of $133 trillion. So, as I say, the issue isn't that the money is there. The money is absolutely there, and it's keen to invest sustainably. The issue is the lack of appropriate vehicles, and within that there's a couple of sub issues. The first one, I think, is simply risk mismatch. So very often what we find is that the capital that wants to invest sustainably tends to be developed market pension fund money or insurance money with relatively low risk appetite, whereas obviously a lot of the investment that needs to take place for climate mitigation, adaptation, etc., as well as on a lot of the socially orientated SDGs, is in emerging markets, which in many cases are sub-investment grade. So you have that mismatch. I think the second issue that we often find is the ticket size. So the investors are trying to deploy billions of dollars of capital, and very often a lot of projects are relatively small, so the ticket size is simply too small for them to do the due diligence on each individual project or opportunity. But the last one, and the biggest one, and thankfully probably the easiest one to overcome, is the fact that these investments are typically not targeted enough. Now, that could mean that they're not Paris aligned, or they're not aligned with whichever taxonomy is applying in whichever region we're talking about. But that tends to be the biggest issue, that these investments aren't targeted enough to allow that capital in. But as I say, the good news is that the right projects, whether it's a project or corporate raising capital, or a municipality, or even a sovereign, we can actually make huge progress by the use of targeted investments. So obviously there I'm talking about green, social, sustainability bonds, even KPI linked bonds. And obviously as a part of that, data is absolutely key, and choosing the right metrics within that is absolutely key. Now, that's very, very important in terms of attracting the capital in the first place, but also it's very, very important from a reporting perspective. So how is that capital being used? And it's very, very important for the ultimate providers of that capital, so the ultimate asset owners. And they want to invest sustainably, but they also want to know what is being achieved with their capital. So beyond the financial returns that they undoubtedly want, they also want to know, what are you doing with my money? What impact are you having? So that's where reporting is very, very important. The data, it allows us to attract the capital in, but it's very important for reporting back on progress. And I think in summary, the reason I find this so exciting is how often are we faced with a situation where we have the need for trillions of dollars of investment, with trillions of dollars of capital waiting and wanting to invest. The simple fact is that we just need the right vehicles, and those vehicles can provide attractive returns to the providers of capital. They can provide attractive costs of capital to the people trying to raise that capital. But alongside that, obviously, we get enormous social and environmental benefits, and that's even before we start to think about the economic multiplier effects which result if we do this correctly. So from my perspective, it's not just the challenge of our generation, which people often say, but it's also the opportunity of a lifetime. And the rewards, if we succeed in this, are inestimable, as are the penalties if we fail to seize this historic opportunity.